tower is under attack.
G'day you beautiful people, welcome to another Paragon build guide. Today we're going to be looking at Sparrow, a very powerful but vulnerable ranger. Okay, if we take a look at Sparrow's abilities, I'll tell you what I generally go for. Okay, so she has Relentless, which is her passive on circle. This, with successive hits within 5 seconds on the same target, deals an additional 3 physical damage. The effect stacks up to 10 times and is triggered by any damage Sparrow causes, which actually gets stronger every time you level it up. So it stacks with your ultimate, with your hail of arrows, and with your piercing shot. Okay, so I always start with that first, and then I will go for the hail of arrows. Okay, Sparrow rains down arrows in an area, dealing 20 physical damage over 4 seconds. It's very good for getting Relentless to stack. Okay. The next thing I will get is obviously my ultimate. You want to get that unlocked. And the last thing I'll work on is piercing shot. Okay, that's another piercing arrow, just a single arrow that fires through a bunch of targets, dealing a good bit of damage. But I'll be focusing on my ultimate more than that. So just to recap, what I suggest is go for Relentless first as your first unlock, then Hail of Arrows, and then just prioritize Relentless. Okay, get your ultimate when you have it ready, and then prioritize Relentless, Hail of Arrows, your ultimate, and then piercing shot. Okay, so moving on to the actual build itself. Okay, so I start off with the Warlord as my prime card, giving us the extra physical damage and 100% damage bonus for minions versus minions. I apologize for any background noise, by the way. I then take a Harvestor key, health potion, mana potion, and a strike token. Always take a Harvest key just in case. And then we're on to the actual meat of the deck. Okay, so as you can see here, we have some good resistance, damage, health, and physical penetration. Okay, so the first card we have here is a Spike Boneplate with 2 3-point guards and a major strike. Okay, I always take this as a 12-point card rather than taking energy damage as a 12-point card, because most of the time if you're dealing with physical, they are fighters and they're gonna land their hits, so you want as much resistance as possible. Then we have a Windcarver's blade with 2 major strikes and a major kinetic for some good damage and attack speed. We then have another Windcarver blade with 3 major strikes, giving us more damage and a little bit more attack speed. Then we have an Amulet of the Veteran, which I slot with a major strike, a health, and a minor strike, but I also put 2 lesser healths in so that I can run 2 lesser healths and a minor strike as a 6-point card if I need it. Then we have the Thorned Greenweave, which I have a 3-point barrier, a 2-point barrier, and a minor strike as my normal setup. I also have an extra 2-point barrier and a 2-point strike so that I can run 2 2-point barriers and a 2-point strike. Okay, so I have a good combination of how I want to run it. So I can either have 5 points of resistance and 1 point of damage, or I can have 4 points of resistance and 2 points of damage. The major difference is that I don't run as much resistance as I do with physical, because like I said, if you're dealing with energy, there is a chance that you can actually juke energy damage unless you're dealing with Richter. Whereas with physical damage, for the most part, if you're being hit by a fighter and he's not going to miss, so you want that resistance there. Okay, so next up we have our Brawler's Ward, which I have 3 minor strikes and 3 strikes. Okay, so this is another one like the Amulet of the Veteran. One of these two will be a 6-point card. Okay, so I have the options there. Then we have a Stone Tooth Heart with a Major Pierce, a Minor Pierce, and a Lesser Health, making it a 9-point card for some physical penetration if we go on to need it. Okay, so the way that I end up running this is that I have, if I'm running physical resistance, I will have my Spike Boneplate, my 2 Windcarver blades as 12-point cards. I will have my Thorned Greenweave and my Stone Tooth Heart as my 9-point cards, or a Brawler's Ward instead of the Stone Tooth Heart as a 9-point card. And then I can run my Eldermage as a 6-point card, or I can swap the Amulet of the Veteran around with the Brawler's Ward and run the Brawler's Ward as a 6-point card and the Amulet of the Veteran as a 9-point card. Okay, so just any way that I can get to running 60 card points. So it just gives me a really good few options. So generally what I will do is I will first go out and I will put on my health, mana and strike token, and I will take my Brawler's Ward. Next, I won't upgrade it though, and then I will more than likely take a Windcarver's Blade next and work on that, and then when I feel like I need resistance, I'll work on my resistances, okay? And then sorry about that, and then I will go back. So then I will go back to working on damage, and then I will decide whether I want my last bit of resistance or if I'm going to go for physical penetration. A lot of the times I go for physical penetration. And then, as I said, I have my Brawler's Ward, which I haven't upgraded, and I have an Amulet of the Veteran, so I can decide what I'm doing. Okay, so say I have my 2 Windcarvers and my Spike Boneplate on. I need my Stone Tooth Heart, that's a 9, okay. I only have room for another 9 and a 6. If I need my Thorned Greenweave, I will put that on, and then I'll have my Brawler's Ward as a 6-point card. Okay, if I don't need the Stone Tooth Heart, then at least I'm still able to use my Amulet of the Veteran to get 500 health, because both of those cards give me 500 health, okay? That is the build. I hope you find that useful. I know it's a bit complicated, I will write it down in the description, but have a play around with it, maybe chuck it on and jump into a bot match, so that you don't stuff it up in a proper match, because if you do upgrade the Brawler's Ward or the Amulet of the Veteran before you know what you're doing, you might actually stuff this build up. But I hope that was helpful. If it was, please drop me a like down below and consider subscribing for more Paragon content. Thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.